Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy, this is Haas Outdoors, and welcome back. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for some notifications so you don't miss the next videos, and leave a like on this video, especially if you learned something new today. So what we're looking at are the top 6 knots that I use on almost every outing. Let's get started. Alright, so let's get started with the Bowline Knot. This is one that I use to put a loop in the end of a line typically. Now you start by making an overhand loop, and then you take that working end up through the loop from underneath. You wrap it around the standing part of the line as you see here, and then you pass it back down through the loop that it came up through, retracing its path. Now that you have that done, slowly pull up on the standing part like so, and dress the knot so it's nice and neat and tidy. You'll see that I have an end knot, a half hitch as an end knot, preventing the line from slipping through the bowline knot. And now I've got a nice loop at the end of my line. An alternative to the bowline, if you want to put a loop in the end of your line, is by simply making a bight, as you see here, and tying it in a half hitch. Now once you pull that through, that's going to snug up nice and tight, and it's going to give you a very strong and stable loop in the end of your line, or anywhere along the line for that matter. Okay, up next we're looking at the harness knot. We start by making a half hitch, but before we tighten it down, we'll take the bottom of that loop and pass it up through the gap between the crossed line at the top of the loop, and then when we pull that through, it tightens down and gives us the harness knot or the fixed loop anywhere in the line that you want. And the nice thing about this is when you apply tension to the line in either direction or both, that knot is not going to collapse. This can be very handy for a lot of different situations, from first aid to resource collection to gear management. And now we'll look at the slip knot. Now this is a very versatile and effective knot. I recommend applying it whenever the occasion calls for it. It's simple to tie. You just create your half hitch here like so. But before tightening it down, you take the working end and wrap it around itself once more to create a second half hitch. When you tighten down that second half hitch, the first one you created is left with a loop until you choose to tighten that down around the gear that you're trying to secure or what have you. And there you have it, a basic slip knot that can be used in so many different ways. Up next is the Fisherman's Knot. This is one that you can use to attach two lines together at their end point, or to create a loop for something like a prusik knot. Now what I'll be doing here is creating a loop out of one line by tying a slip knot around either end. So this end I'm tying a slip knot around the center of the line, and then I'll repeat that process with the other end of the line, but along the loop that I created with the first one. So as you can see here, I'm going to create the second slip knot by passing it around that first loop and tying it to itself with a half hitch, like so. Now once you tighten this down, it's important to have those little end knots that you see there on the line so it doesn't slip out. And when you tighten it all together, you've got a nice sturdy loop that is not going to slip. Okay, and our last knot today is the Marlin spike hitch. It's a very versatile knot that you can find hidden in all kinds of other ones. You simply make an overhand loop, pull the bight through, and pass your toggle through that bight. Tighten down the two ends of the line, dress your knot, and there you have it. A toggle fixed to the middle of the line, used to store gear or hang a cook pot over a fire, whatever you need. Alright everyone, so that wraps up our video on knots. Again, I'm Jeremy from Haas Outdoors. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope you were able to pick up a few new skills here. If you already knew these knots, that's fantastic. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments section below. If you did learn something, that's even better. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. That's a huge help for me getting started here. And as always, chase your nature, have fun.